when something, somebody from a beloved sitcom passes away, there's usually this rumble of people who say it was so much better back then, as if every show on every network every night was of the caliber of Cheers.
No, not even close.
And when an old movie comes on TV, it's like, that's when movies were movies, not the garbage that Hollywood puts out now. And again, as if everything is its own, Chariots of Fire or some sort of Academy Award-winning thing. I was trying to think of something from the 80s because we have a new feature on the program called "It Wasn't Better Back Then."
I love this.
Yeah.
I love this because you're right. We look back with rose-colored glasses, and not everything was great.
We remember the hit songs, and we think that every song was that hit, and every band was as influential as a Led Zeppelin or something. And it's just they're a band in a time of a lot of crap, and
yes.
And so you can
go back and watch our segment about 1974 and the number one hits of that year, and just awful. The amount of just bad that had been top of the charts. It's not all great. It's not.
No, it isn't. It isn't. There's wonderful things from back then, like Cheers, and then there's things like Mannequin, which isn't wonderful. Not good.
This is gonna be a tough one for me.
Okay.
Because full disclosure, as a child growing up, and my parents buying HBO or adding HBO to the a lot of HBO was just on in the background because if we're paying extra for it, we're going to watch it. And this was one of those movies that was on a lot in the early beginnings of HBO. And it was just funny enough, right, for like an 8 or 9-year-old me, and like it wasn't wrong. It was just, it walked that fine line to where it would be on in the background and my mom wouldn't care, right? There was a love story involved, so it just kind of, it played a lot.
I mean,
but you're right.
Yeah, as a prepubescent boy, Kim Cattrall in her underwear, whatever else is going on in the movie is irrelevant.
Correct. And my dad liked designing women as well, so Meshuck Taylor's in there. So it's like, it was the bad guy from Police Academy shows up. So there was a lot of 80s all together. Yeah. But when you put that stew together, it didn't taste good.
Let's watch the trailer from Mannequin and watch it with 2025 eyes and see if it really was better back then.
Jonathan Switcher.
I'm Sex.
Loves to talk to his work.
You know, you're the first thing I've created that made me feel like an artist. Don't you like your new scarf?
He never expected.
Not especially.
To hear it talk back.
I really think I'm going crazy.
I am so glad you're working here. I never thought they'd hire anyone stranger than me.
You're the only one who can see me like this.
To the rest of the world, he's a disaster.
You're fired.
And she's a dummy.
You were one sick puppy.
But together.
Hey, don't do that.
You weren't so shy when you were creating me.
You weren't so real.
They make magic.
Look at him with the dummy.
Who are you to criticize?
That new stock boy, and I just want you to keep an eye on him for me.
I think I'm going to handle things my own way. All the girl mannequins disappeared from the windows last night. Film at 11. Yes, my dear, your favorite. She is gone too.
Get him!
Mine's bigger than yours. Go get him!
You are magic.
He's talking to the dummy again.
Andrew McCarthy, Kim Cattrall.
You know I would never bother you when you're getting a piece of wood.
Mannequin.
I forgot James Spader's in this movie.
Yes.
I forgot James. James Spader wants you to forget he was in this movie.
I think so.
But
everybody does.
But nonetheless, he is in it.
Oh, every beat of that is just all. And by the way, I don't know that I've seen it, but watching for a minute 21, I've seen it. There's nothing I've missed, right?
Yes, the biggest plot point is what you missed. The reason why she comes alive is apparently she is I want to say it, don't quote me on this, even though I watched it way too much than I should have. She's like an ancient Egyptian spirit or something that takes over this mannequin. So I don't know. And that's how she becomes alive.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure, but I love all the ridiculous situations that were so out there of like, look at that guy on a scooter with a dummy.
And just so you know, even in its time, it was not liked. Here is the review from legendary film critic Roger Ebert, who gave it 1/2 of 1 star.
Not even a full star?
Not even that.
I mean, it was bad, but a 1/2 star? Come on, Roger. I'm intrigued to hear what he had to say.
He says, this movie is a real curiosity. It's dead. I don't mean it's bad. A lot of movies are fairly throbbing with life. Mannequin is dead. The wake lasts 1.5 hours.
Oh, no.
In Mannequin, McCarthy plays a hapless young man who is fired from one job after another. And Cattrall, you are right, an Egyptian princess who's reincarnated as a dummy in Philadelphia.
For what reason? Like, they don't ever really explain that.
Yeah.
It's just kind of, that's the plot. Here you go.
The supporting characters have been recycled out of failed sitcoms. Felix, the dim-witted night watchman, who, yeah, I mean, he was in everything and always played that guy.
Yeah, he was in every police academy, and Mahoney always got the best of him.
Yeah. He was in, and I looked up too. I mean, there was like this period of time where he's in like Chips and Laverne and Shirley and Happy Days and Dynasty and gosh, there was like 12 of them in a row, and it's like, yes, I can picture him in. And he was in MASH. He had a recurring role in MASH. But it's like, yeah, he was always that exact same person in that movie. Hollywood, the flamboyantly gay black window dresser who becomes the hero's only friend, Mrs. Timpkin, the good-hearted owner of the department store, Roxy, the hero's bitchy girlfriend who is jealous of the dummy. All these people do exactly what we expect them to do, exactly when we expect them to do it. The gimmick,
as seen in the trailer when he says, "Sick 'em, boy," and the dog runs the other way.
The gimmick is that the mannequin only comes to life when McCarthy is watching her. This rule is reinforced rather loosely. For example, when they ride down the street on his motorcycle, she only freezes up when other characters in the movie see her.
It's just like Fight Club. Is there something to it at the end where it's actually the mannequin was actually him in drag the whole time? McCarthy
and Cattrall are fairly helpless in the face of this material. And then he gives a couple of examples if you want to see them actually in good stuff. Look at Ticket to Heaven and Pretty in Pink.
Oh, and also look at Weekend at Bernie's for Andrew McCarthy. He's excellent in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
as well.
Studying the press material for Mannequin, I learned that Michael Gottlieb, the director, got the idea for this movie 5 years ago, walking down Fifth Avenue, and thought he saw a mannequin move in the window of Bergdorf Goodman. Just thought you'd like to know. And that's all Ebert has to say about that.
Kudos, though, to Gottlieb, right, the director, to take a chance possible occurrence of mannequin movement and somehow turn it into a 90-minute movie.
Right.
As bad as that movie was, let's at least give him credit that he was able to flesh out a way to not only come up with that story, get that story to be okayed by the studio, then get a pretty hot actor at the time, Andrew McCarthy, and Kim Cattrall coming off Porky's, and Meshack Taylor for Designing Women, to be in this movie, let alone James Spader, and get this movie made. That's quite the accomplishment for Gottlieb.
Unbelievable. But you're right. There's this chunk of time where it's one of about 4 movies in rotation on HBO, and that was about all they had.
It was Mannequin, La Bamba, Side Out, and I can't remember what the last one was. And I know all of them by heart, way more than I should. I know more about Richie Valens than anyone ever should because I just watched La Bamba over and over and over again.
La Bamba is how you pronounce it. Is that right?
Yeah, La Bamba.
La Bamba.
Was it La Bamba?
La Bamba.
I call La Bamba, tomato. Let's call the whole thing off.
Now, another element in the movie Mannequin is its theme song, which we can't play on YouTube or on the other platforms because Grace Slick doesn't want anyone to think about it, I think.
Probably, yes.
And it's that song, Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now, which it suddenly occurred to me, with as much grief as Starship gets for We Built This City, I think Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now is worse.
Ooh,
I think it's worse.
Comment below, or give us a call on the monkey phone, on the monkey line there, to say which one you feel is worse.
I mean, I get all the hate for We Built This City, but I think, and the only version I was able to find that we can use is from Kids Incorporated.
Okay. Who came up with Kids Incorporated?
I don't know.
I think we need to do a deep dive on Kids Incorporated at some point, maybe in a future episode of Michael Molson Mandela News, because I watched that show too, and that's not a great representation. That'd be like playing the Kid Bops version of a terrible song to begin with.
They didn't do it. They didn't hurt it any.
Well, that's right. It wasn't a great song to begin with. So I'm torn, because Built This City is pretty universally hated on, but Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now. I think it's a pass because Mannequin the movie's so bad that people focus on that,
right,
and forget about it being on the soundtrack. Well, you got the lyrics for it.
Well, and I mean, yeah, and it's not, I know people don't really listen to the lyrics, but it's just like, I'm so glad I found you. I'm not gonna lose you. Whatever it takes, I will stay here with you. Take it to the good times. See it through the bad times.
Through the bad times.
Whatever it takes is what I'm gonna do. It's just, I've read Hallmark cards that are better than that.
Do you know this probably was somebody's first dance at a wedding, though?
Oh, of course.
We can build these dreams forever, standing strong together. Nothing's gonna stop us now.
Yeah.
And if the world runs out of lovers, we'll still have each other. Which is weird. That's an odd choice of words. That if the world runs out of, what do you mean? Yeah. Why are you looking for other lovers? If we're supposed to be together as much as you're saying in the song, what would we care if they had a bunch of lovers or not?
Right. And then they just say the same thing for the next, 2 minutes of the song.
Oh yeah.
It's
terrible.
In one of the articles, the songwriter Albert Hammond said he was living with his girlfriend for 7 years, and finally his divorce went through, and he could get married, and that's what inspired him to write the song. And then he saw a mannequin move at Bergdorf Goodman.
So wait. So this guy was cheated on his wife.
No. He'd left his wife, or she left him, one of the ways, but he couldn't get married because his divorce hadn't gone through.
For 7 years?
I don't know.
That seems to be dragging your feet.
Well, somebody was.
Or was it also during the airplane becoming a Starship, and is a Jefferson in there or not Jefferson, or post Jefferson? Was that legal battle also going on at the same time?
Right. So yeah, a ridiculous idea, a ridiculous concept for a movie, terrible song that I will stand on that one, arguably worse than We Built This City.
I'm going to go with your hot take.
Yeah.
I think you're onto something. I think Built This City has gotten, justly crapped upon for years. This one, Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now, has flown under the radar because of the shield of how terrible the Mannequin movie is.
Yeah, well, and the shield of how bad We Built This City.
Built the City is. Right.
So this is for you, kids of the internet, who I know the first thing you do on Wednesday night is come on and watch us.
Correct. Or watch the quickie.
Yeah. When the old fogies in your life say, you don't know real music and real movies, it was so much better back then, just show them this and say, no, it wasn't better back then. You had this. You had this.
Oh, did you know they made a sequel, by the way?
They did make a sequel. Yeah. And I think the black guy is the only one who is in both movies. Hollywood?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, Hollywood, I think, is the only. Oh, my. How much do you think this ended up getting in the box office?
The original or the sequel?
The original. How much do you think Mannequin made at the box office?
$7 million.
It made $42.7 million in the box office on an $8 million budget.
Well,
We're saps.
that's a good return in your investment.
We're saps. No wonder they made a second one.
Yeah.
God, we're a bunch of saps. That $42 million.
And that isn't that the crazy thing about all movies where you go, okay, why was this thing made? And then you look at, even if you double your money, who's not going to want to be in on that deal? This obviously, almost tripled.
Yeah. The film debuted at number 3.
No, what am I saying?
Guess
5 times.
Guess what it lost out to, debuting at number 3.
It debuted at 3?
The film debuted at number 3 at the U.S. box office over the 4-day President's Day weekend in 1987, behind Platoon and Outrageous Fortune. The other opening weekend movie that weekend, Over the Top from Sylvester Stallone.
Wow. Well, you know what? If those are it's good counter programming. If Platoon and Over the Top are in the other 2 screens, and you just want something light, then this is what you watch. I mean, I guess that's what it is.
I think that's exactly what it is. Here is David Cornelius of DVD Talk wrote, quote, "Mannequin is one of the stupidest movies ever conceived and one of the worst, which makes it in its lousy way mesmerizing. To watch it is to get sucked in by its hypnotic ways. Its very off-the-wall shoddiness is astounding. Spader alone is worth the price of admission. Surely aware of the movie's badness, the actor hams it up with a deliriously over-the-top performance."
Yeah.
So there you go. That's another take on Mannequin, which had 42 million. Oh my God, it won awards.
What? What award? What, the song, maybe? What award?
Yes. Best. So at the ASCAP Film and Television Music Awards, most performed song from a motion picture, it won Nothing Gonna Stop Us Now. It was written by Albert Hammond and Diane Warren.
Yeah.
And at Fanta Festival, I don't know what the hell that is. It won Best Film, Best Director, and Best Actor.
Jesus, what? How? How?
I don't know. At the Fanta Festival. Also, by the way, would you believe that Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now was up for Best Original Song at the Golden Globes?
Damn.
And at the Grammy, Best Song Written Specifically for a Motion Picture or Television, it was nominated for a Grammy.
I do believe it, just because it was a monster song. You couldn't get away with it. In 1987, that's just kind of the vibe of what was on the radio anyway. And so it fit its time. We're going to have to do a segment in coming weeks on what the hell happened to 60s and 70s rockers when the 80s came along.
Yes. They all turned into mush.
Yeah. I mean, because you look at Jefferson Airplane, Somebody to Love, and White Rabbit, and I mean, just all the psychedelic stuff. They did badass songs. And then the 80s come around and you go, how is this the same person?
Nothing
and it happened to Phil Collins and Stevie Wonder and Paul McCartney. I mean, just something just went crazy. Anyway, that's a segment for another day. This segment is called "It Wasn't Better Back Then." It wasn't.
By the way,
it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. Just to add real quick to put a little bow on this. So 87 is when the first one comes out. Because no one comes back for Mannequin 2, and the director didn't even do it, it only grossed $4 million.
Ooh.
So Mannequin 2 made exactly $38 million less than Mannequin 1.
Dude,
shows you how bad that movie was.
Yeah, I mean, you go, look, you step up to the craps table and win. You keep the money in your pocket and go. You don't go back. You don't go back to the well.